Now, if you're joining us in reading through this 90-day reading plan, today's reading is 1 Chronicles 8, 1 through 32, and I encourage you to read that passage. Now, over the next 4 days, while we complete our reading of the genealogies, I'd like to apply some of the history that we find in these genealogies to what's going on today. Many of the people who are listed in these genealogies lived during the time of the Judges. Now, the period of the Judges was a time in Israel where everybody did their own thing. There was obviously a group of who were worshiping God in the way that they were supposed to, but however, most of the people did just whatever they wanted to and incorporated the Canaanite lifestyle into their own style. Much of this is happening the same way it's happening today. According to a recent Lifeway survey, it's the publishing arm of the Southern Baptist Convention, 70% of adults between the ages of 23 and 30 stop attending church regularly for at least a year between the ages of 18 and 22. According to the study, 6 of the top 10 reasons church dropouts leave and relate to life changes. The most frequent reason for leaving the church is in fact a self-imposed change. I simply wanted a break from church. That was 27%. It's significant that 27% just wanted to take a break from church. It's a very interesting statistic. If they'd found church to be relevant to today's problems, meaningful to their lives, or just rewarding in some way, they probably would have continued. Now, this is obviously my speculation only. But it does bring up a very interesting point. Our churches tend not to teach the necessity of life change in people's growth in Christ. We talk about getting our children saved, but once they've confessed to having a relationship with Christ, we tend to back off and assume they'll grow in church or Christ just because they're in church. We tend not to put a lot of emphasis on teaching them ourselves that a relationship with Christ is a lifelong process, not just a way of getting out of swimming in a lake of fire. It's a travesty that a child might be introduced to Christ at an early age and then spend the next 7 or 8 years doing nothing about that relationship. Now, tomorrow we'll explore a little more of this.